Today we're going to be looking at the Necromancer class in the Conquest of Azeroth Alpha. Hopefully we're going to be seeing some big zombies, big demons, and whatnot. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so right off the bat, we did get two abilities. We got Unholy Fortitude, which is going to be empowering nearby allies with direct power, increasing their armor by 8%, and intellect by 8%. We also have Putrefy. We're going to be insulting the target enemy with deadly necrotic magic, dealing 12 to 15 plague damage. Plague damage is a combination of shadow and nature damage. This ability does deal bonus damage when we're on intellect, and is going to be generating runic power. It's also going to be increasing periodic damage taken by the target by 5% for 10 seconds. This will stack up to 3 times. So let's take a look at some of these particle effects. Definitely a little different than what you'd be used to in retail. As you see, there's a little bit of a woof up and then a foo down. So pretty big fan of that so far. Now you can see the debuff we are applying that will be increasing periodic damage. We don't have any dots yet, but we should hopefully be getting some soon. So we just hit level 4 and we did get a few things pretty interesting. We got Grave March. This is going to be commanding our active undead minions to focus their attacks on an enemy. Each minion gains 40% increased movement speed for 8 seconds or until they make a direct attack. We can also unsummon these minions, not super exciting, but it does reduce the cast time of our raids minions in case we need to swap some out. I'm assuming we're going to be getting multiple types of minions in the future. This does also mention it's going to be returning Life Force. I'm assuming Life Force is going to be a resource used to summon these minions. It looks like we already got a debuff kind of representing that if you look in the top right there. We did get our first skeleton, our first zombie, so we're going to be able to use that. Hey, not anything crazy, but it's level 4. It's level 4. We have time to get something a little more insane. He's already mad. He's already mad. Fuck that rat, I guess. I don't know. We can get 2. Oh, okay. Can we... Oh, okay, I see. So you can have as many as you have life force, I suppose, and I assume you can get more life force later on. Now we can see if we use that unsummon ability, we do get that life force back. And we do have a faster cast time. Again, not super useful just with one, but I'm assuming as we get more, it's going to be a little more interesting. It is good to know that life force works exactly as I thought it would. I wish it would go away when you have none. It seems like you either have 1 or 0 and you can't really tell with that debuff how it's set up. But it's better than nothing. I'm glad that there's something there, some sort of indicator. We do have 3 new kind of passives, I guess, or maybe settings for the undead. Foul Bidding, Slaughter, activate Foul Bidding, and is going to be... When we activate Foul Bidding, I apologize, it's going to be increasing the damage our undead minions deal by 10%, and boosting their movement speed by 30%. They do take increased damage in this form, so definitely a more aggressive kind of playstyle. They're still randomly killing rats. I don't know what's going on. We also have Assault, which is going to be a balanced combat mode. I'm not sure what that means yet. And then we have Protect. This is going to be pacifying our undead minions, but causing them to actively guard you, causing 5% of all damage taken to be transferred to the protecting minions within 10 yards of you. So definitely a more kind of defensive play style. I should also mention that while they are protecting me, they still have that 40% increased movement speed, same as Slaughter, so they can stay a bit closer to hit that 10-yard range. So it's worth noting, Slaughter doesn't explicitly say it's going to be causing them to attack nearby enemies just randomly, but it seems like it definitely does. It seems like it definitely does. Maybe that is a alpha thing. Maybe it's intended. I can't tell. It just doesn't indicate that in the spell. And it seems that the only way we can focus their attack, other than what I'm hitting, I would assume, is going to be Grave March. So that's going to be a really important ability as we get kind of further into it. They really don't like these rats. They're very mad that they exist. I don't know what kind of personal issue they got going on. So one thing WoW does, and is a bit of an issue when you have Slaughter on, because you're trying to get that extra damage, is if the minions, and this is everything, if you're beast, if you're undead, if you're demon, whatever you have, kill something by itself and you don't get any type of damage done on it, you won't be able to loot, you won't get any XP from that enemy. So when they're just running around killing these rats, I'm actually gaining pretty much nothing from it, unfortunately. At least if I'm not quick enough on the draw. So when we switch into Protect, we're not gonna have that issue. We'll actually have time to hit things. So maybe kind of alternating between the two, or maybe just melee attacking everything before they one-shot it right now is gonna be the way to go. I do have 2 stacks of that Protect buff. Again, it is gonna be redirecting 5% of the damage we take. Apparently that is per undead minion, which I guess you could have safely assumed, but I didn't. So that's 10% of the damage right off the bat getting redirected, which is really strong. Now, it does say, while in Protect mode, it does pacify the undead minions. I kind of hoped it was more of a defensive stance. It seems like it's not. They just don't attack even if I'm getting attacked, which is a little unfortunate. You're still getting all that redirecting damage, which is nice, but I really was hoping for a defensive stance, and this seems like it's not. So we're gonna have to switch to the just neutral mode, the assault mode, and that will probably be the best for what we're gonna be doing. So then we can make sure we're getting a hit in, and we don't have to worry about the minions doing absolutely nothing. After just killing a few of these thugs, I can immediately know assault is definitely the best option. Maybe there's situational uses for Slaughter and Protect. Well, I should say definitely there's situational uses, but right now assault is going to be the way to go. So we just hit level 7. We're running to the next town, but we did get transfer life. You channel upon a undead minion and up to 10 others nearby for up to 10 seconds. Healing them for 5% of their maximum health every 0 second. I'm not sure if 0 is supposed to be there, but that's a pretty good heal if it is. It does cost runic power, which is a resource that we've been generating. So it's good to see that resource is finally being used. Hopefully we get to use that on a damaging ability soon, but won't know until we level up. It is nice to have a heal. And it seems like this heal will pretty much apply to every undead minion. I don't know if this kind of implies you can get 11 undead minions total, maybe at max. So that's a pretty exciting thing if that's true. But right now, again, just a simple heal. Happy to see it. Hopefully we get some more interesting abilities. So we got another ability, but I didn't get a level up. So I'm not 100% sure where this ability came from. I'm still level 7, as you can see, but we got Flesh to Worms. This is going to be a disease that turns the target's flesh into grave worms, dealing 5 to 7 shadow damage every 1.5 seconds for 12 seconds. Now, each time this ability deals damage, it is going to be generating additional runic power, which is good. Again, the only way we have to spend this runic power is still that heal. But if we get a damaging spell, we're going to be able to generate a lot of it. It seems to kind of turn them green. I don't it's kind of silly. It's kind of silly, but again, this is all alpha. This could change. I do like that it's a very visible effect. You can definitely see when that dot's on someone, but I don't know if it kind of screams worms to me. They're just, unless they're really green worms, I don't know. But yeah, so that's what the effect looks like so far. It's an alpha, guys. Don't look at that skeleton. It's an alpha. It can't swim. It can't swim. It can walk on water. I don't know what statement you want to make about that. Is it Jesus? Who knows? But again, it's alpha. So they'll fix it, right? They'll fix it. So I hit level 10 and we got something to spend. Runic power. That's a damaging ability. Thank goodness. Glacial Dagger. It's going to be firing a dagger of ice at an enemy, dealing 18 to 21 frost damage to the target. So really, 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 really happy we have some way to generate runic power, or not generate, I apologize. Some way to spend runic power other than that heal. Let me see if I can find something to kind of show you what it looks like. I will say on a side note, this zone is really cool. I like the spider webs everywhere. It looks it looks interesting. It kind of looks a lot like a Frostlands to me, with maybe a bit more particle effects on the trail. Not a bad thing. I don't think Frostlands is a bad looking ability, and it is a glacial dagger. You know, I don't know how much you really can do with that. Not terrible. Not terrible. Happy to see it's not just Frostlands. They did change it a little bit. And again, still happy to see a damaging ability that spends runic power. And it does pretty good. It's our only instant cast ability that's not a dot and not a heal. So again, happy to see that. So one thing I should mention, and again, it's an alpha, so you're going to see some bugs, right? You're going to see some bugs. They're fixing bugs all the time. It seems that when you hit a level where you may get an ability, you don't always get that ability at that certain level. Obviously, with Flesh to Worms earlier, I got it at level 7, but only when I was about midway through the XP bar. So I'm not sure if that's intentional. Maybe it is. It feels like a bug. It feels odd. I'm only bringing that up right now because even though I hit level 10, I didn't unlock Battlegrounds until, 4 bars in. So it seems like not just an ability thing. It seems like anything you can unlock at certain levels, you may not unlock them until you get maybe a little deeper into the level, or maybe you hit a resting zone and you get it then. Again, I'm not really sure how it's supposed to function. I just know how it currently functions, and it feels odd. It definitely feels odd. Now, I will say I'm definitely new to Koa. Maybe this has already been addressed. I'm sure someone else has mentioned this before. But as kind of my first time playing Necromancer and my second character in the realm, I feel like it's something I really shouldn't mention to anyone interested in playing Koa. It's odd. It's odd. You get the ability, but it's a little delayed. So we hit level 11 and we can summon an additional skeleton. We're up to 3. We're up to 3 brittle skeletons. It still doesn't show that I'm at 0 life force. I thought I could summon 4, but nope, that's 0. That's 0, even though 1 and 0 look exactly the same. And that's fine. Alpha things. But we can't summon 3. That's pretty cool. So only level 11. Maybe we are going to be able to get to that 11 skeleton mark, or maybe 11 of something else. I'm super excited for when we get to that point. So we got this ability at some point. I'm level 12 now. I'm assuming we got it exactly at level 12. I didn't even notice it. Spellblight. It's a simple silence for 3 seconds. Not bad. Happy to have a silence, but really doesn't do anything other than that. Little lackluster. Wish we got something a little more interesting at level 12, but better than nothing. Now, I did find another player. I don't know what they're playing. Some type of... I'm assuming Starcaller, just based off the spell effects. They picked a really good class, because I don't deal a lot of damage. You know, I have pets, which are cool, but I don't deal a lot of damage. This person absolutely destroys anything they look at. They give it a glance, and they're dead. You got a little arcane explosion there. A little arcane explosion effect. And let me jump ahead. We're trying to fight this rare, right? And 30% damage. You can see the damage I'm dealing, which is not a lot. And this person comes in for 1 attack, and this thing loses 20% of its health. I mean, that's ridiculous.
You coward. You make me sick. Your weakness is pathetic.
That's ridiculous. I am already regretting my choice to play Necromancer, apparently. Maybe at later levels it kind of balances out, but right now that power gap feels so absurd. That feels ridiculous. So, I mean, just another thing to make note of. Not all classes are made equal. Again, it's an alpha, all things balancing, all things are subject to change. But right now, level 12 versus a level 10, the level 12 is apparently dealing nothing. Apparently dealing nothing comparatively. It is what it is. The last thing I want to mention in this video, I got to level 12. I didn't get to pick any talents, unfortunately. So I do just want to briefly look at the talent tree. So we got rhyme, animation, and death. Now, I didn't dive super deep into any of the trees because I haven't gotten any ability essence to do so. But I just wanted to show you guys what it kind of looked like. And as you see in the top right, we actually can change our primary stat similar to Ascension. We can actually change our primary stat. So if we wanted to change that stat to agility or strength, we could. I don't know how we would benefit from that quite yet. Maybe that's going to make more sense as we, again, get a little deeper into the game. But right now, it's definitely going to be an intellect-based class. With that being said, that's going to be everything I have for you today. I am going to continue leveling this character, so I will have a kind of follow-up on this later on. But until then, thanks so much for watching and have a great one. Bye-bye.